All right, we have the city of Ottawa put out a tweet recently. Just yesterday. Have you heard about hashtag Ottawa cities plan to create more 15-minute neighborhoods? So they're not calling it a climate lockdown, but we will. And now that we're off of YouTube and we can actually say those words together, say hello to walkable neighborhoods with higher density housing, meaning fewer emissions and less pollution. More about 15-minute neighborhoods. And then, the link redirects you to the City of Ottawa newsroom, and they give you a step-by-step itinerary, I suppose, on why this is such a great thing and how you will get involved in cooling the planet under the guise of convenience, but also lessening your carbon footprint. So I think before these 15-minute cities, or in this case, this 15-minute neighborhood, was generally sold to the public as a way to have a more convenient lifestyle, right? Because everything would be within a 15-minute walking distance. And so the criticism here, of course, is that the inevitable ripple effect of a 15-minute neighborhood is going to be the climate lockdowns. So we saw with the COVID lockdowns that was arguably a great precursor for what's to come with the climate change, climate alarmism, climate hysteria being espoused really by all governments all across the world, but primarily here in Canada. And so that was the trial run on what a climate lockdown would look like, especially as our government works toward net zero 2050, zero emissions, like nada. They're trying to get to absolutely zero, but that's arguably only for us plebs. That's just for us, the little guys, because our world leaders, well, they still have to jet set all across the world to meet and mingle with all of the other elites to discuss how more taxes is going to, I guess, cool the planet. And they'll have the filet mignon, they'll have the steaks, they'll wine and dine, but you have to stay home, you have to walk everywhere, and you better go to the park to collect some bugs, because that's what you'll be barbecuing, if you can even get the propane to do so. Maybe you have to light a fire by 2050.
Yeah, and so much for your electric vehicle when there's roving brownouts and blackouts, and you've just got a six-figure paperweight sitting in the driveway. And I love, I'm not buying what they're selling, Tamara. They're going to put in all these restrictions, yet it's going to be hello savings, hello reduced energy costs. You know what it reminds me of? More than 100 years ago, on the cusp of, or during the First World War, I should say, we're going to implement a temporary revenue-raising tool. It's called income tax. What is the definition of temporary? I mean, I know if you're a scientist studying the dinosaurs, a century is a blink of an eyelash. But, for us Homo sapiens in the here and now, it's kind of a long, long time. And let's face it, it's never going away, is it, my friend?
Yeah, well, and here we have, let's pull up the World Economic Forum's report here in September of 2020, where they note that emissions fell during lockdown, and let's keep it that way.
Yeah. Well, why did they fall? Because you lost your job? Because if you gathered in a park, you were going to be arrested? If you got outside of your social circle or you went to church, you would be fined? I mean, boy, and these guys are saying, the good old days of 2020, 2021, and 2022. Really?
Mm-hmm. When we had the largest wealth transfer of our time, as they squashed small businesses and bought it all up.
Been a shareholder in Pfizer pre-2020. And, I guess now that the pandemic's over, they got to go back to making money on things that are actually helpful to some people. I'm speaking of a little blue pill here, which I do not take, by the way. Anyway.
I want to go back to this Ottawa press release. It says here, hello, electric vehicle transportation. And they say transportation is the second largest contributor to Ottawa's greenhouse gas emissions. Wow. Okay. By rethinking the way we get around, we can not only reduce emissions, but also improve our health and save money. Yeah, save money with those electric vehicles.
Yeah, and have fun riding your bicycle in Ottawa in February when it's minus 30 with the wind chill.
Or using your electric vehicle. Yeah,
and you know, to make this live stream full circle, we started off with Elon Musk labeling CBC, and isn't it fascinating that Elon Musk was such a darling of the left going back a year ago when he was coming out with the Tesla, and give credit to Elon Musk. If you are an EV fan, Elon Musk, by coming out with the Tesla more than 10 years ago, he really kickstarted the mainstream auto companies into developing electric cars. And then he went all free speech on Twitter. What? Free speech? Off with his head. Tesla suck. I think BMW's making an electric car that's better. Isn't that amazing what we've seen?
Well, and it goes to show that the electric vehicle scheme is big business. Yep. Elon Musk is a businessman and he buys up companies and for his own profit. And so there you have it, that this is a big business, lots of profits to be had. And just back to this City of Ottawa press release, they say, by rethinking the way that we get around, we can not only reduce emissions. I read that part, but whether using public transportation, commuting by bike, or charging up your knowledge of electric vehicles, each decision is an opportunity to reduce our climate impact.
Yeah, I'm sorry. In February in Ottawa, I'm not riding my bike. I don't want to freeze my ball bearings off.
But, you know, what about the climate impact of mining lithium endlessly, using child slave labor and destroying the environment?
I think there's 25,000 children mining that mineral.
Last I saw, there was hardworking middle-aged men running the oil sands. And last I checked, there was child slave labor mining the lithium for your electric car batteries. So you decide which one is better.
The left likes child labor, Tamara Ugolini. It's less toxic masculinity, you see.
Oh, those poor babies.
That's a clip from something we call Rebel News Daily. It's our daily live stream hosted by my friend David Menzies, but the show also includes a rotating cast of hosts and special guests, including me. It's a great way for us to talk about the news of the day as the news is happening in an unscripted fashion, and it's an awesome way for you to interact with us as well. We stream every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain, wherever you find Rebel News. See you there.